Okay, welcome back everybody. In this video, I want to show you a collection of toy cars that I absolutely love. And yes, I've said it before in all my other videos, I love these cars. This is one collection that definitely is one of the loves of my life, Corgi toys. Edward Force, 3rd edition with updated value guide and consolidated Met toy era variation list, blah blah. Anyways, this is a book I found a long time ago, and as you can see, he's done many other books for toy car collectors. This one, flip it over. Let's see, I skipped a page. So this is a revised price guide for 1997. So as you can see, this is a couple years old. Anyways, I started collecting Corgis, and I just wanted to find out what was available because I found this guy. This one was at a thrift store, and I was amazed that it was still mostly complete. Now, it's not in the best shape, but overall, as you can see, everything's there. Now, on this one, there's a spot where there's an exhaust stack. Try to open it without wrecking everything. Of course, I don't know why it's not working now, but this particular one. Well, the cab opens. I'm not. Oh, there we go. Okay. So the cab opens up, and as you can see, there's an engine in there. It's got like metal horns, and one was bent, but you see there's holes right here. There's 2 holes. Well, that's where an exhaust stack would be, like that. So that's the only missing piece on this one. Otherwise, it's all complete. And of course, it's not going to want to go back together again, but oh, there we go. But I found this one, and amazingly enough, it still has its original hooks. I'm not sure if it was its original thread for the cables, but overall, very cool. Everything's still there. You know, the mirrors, the bottom piece is broken off on that side, but as you can see from this side, they actually had adjustable mirrors. The mirrors actually move. So that's pretty amazing how delicate it is, but it would move. Interior. Now, I found this one, you know, obviously it's cracked and windshield there and, you know, play worn. Holmes Wrecker. Nice play on words. Now, it didn't have all its tires, so I put the rear tires on the outer wheels, just so, you know, it still looks like it's all there. But amazingly enough, this is in really nice shape. Now, I found this at one of our major thrift stores called Value Village. And as you can see, it's still a pretty nice example of a Corgi toy. Corgi, you know, with lots of detail and stuff. And I thought that was so cool. And then I was wondering, well, did they make more trucks like this? Now, I'll show you the bottom. It's got very nice detail. Of course, upside down again. But here we go. So Corgi Major toys. Made in Great Britain. You know, they had suspension in them. But lots of nice details, and then of course you can crank the spare tire and that moves the cable up and down, the hooks. Anyways, so I found this one and I thought this was very cool. Now, there were 3 versions that I didn't know about, but I got this Corgi book to find out what kind of vehicles that they had. Okay, so anyways, looking through the book, the first actual vehicle is this one here. And now I think that figure went with this vehicle maybe, or whatever, but so here's the first one here. And I opened this up because it was hard to open, but I'll close it again. So you see it's got all the... Oh, of course. Oh, there we go. Now, this one, I actually found this way. Side door is still open. Yeah. The back one slides forward, and this was at a little shop that sold used die-cast old toys. So the mirror's broken off, and the exhaust stack, well, it's still there. Metal horns on it. But I didn't pay much for this. I don't believe, maybe, I don't know, I can't remember. It was less than $10 anyways. And this would have been in the 90s. But this is the Ford COE, cab over engine. Suspension on it. So this was so cool. I found 2 of these. And then, of course, I found the book. And let's see. So in the book, there's a picture of the Holmes wrecker. So I got the Holmes wrecker, and I got the Ford Semi. Well, I had been collecting cars, you know, in the 90s, and I found some Redline Hot Wheels. And now collectors of Redline Hot Wheels are going to think, you found some Redline Hot Wheels and you traded them for Corgi toys? What? Well, anyways, I found this collector who had this version. Now, Corgi Toys only made 3 versions of this vehicle. So, as you can see, essentially, without the boom on the back, there's the casting. Same casting. And there you go again. So, going back to, let's see, marked it off here. Oh, that's probably it. Oh, wait a minute. Ford trailer and Ford car carrier. Okay. Let me just flip this over here. Oh, wait a minute. I'll get it here. I'm trying to hold the camera with one hand. Well, there we go. How cool is that? And here we go right here. This is the car carrier. Now, the guy who had this, he was collecting Hot Wheels, and he had this since it was new. And he kept in pretty good shape. Oh, sorry for shaking the camera there. Oh, anyways. So you can see it's in pretty nice shape. You know, he had it since he was a kid. You know, it's been play worn, but it's in actually pretty good shape compared to the other ones. So this is pretty cool that I have it in the book. That'd be pretty wild, a 3-tier car carrier. Anyways, there's farm equipment over on this side. So I just marked some pages here to show you, but you see there's Corgi Juniors, Volkswagens, Charlie's Angels, you know, Mercedes, whatever. So this book, oh man, it's so cool because it shows you all the stuff that they produced over the English years. I'll try and focus a little better for you guys. Well, the top row here, these are their dragsters that they had. So I've got this one I found used. I've got this one I found used with the wheel insert, which is a mag wheel like you see on the back of this funny car. You know, the front axle's bent, but overall it's still together, and I thought pretty nice. I've got this Mustang, the Ford Capri, and this crazy drag car. Now let's see, what else have I got here that I showed you. Well, the Holmes Wreckers, so as you can see, well, I got that one too, you know, in play-worn condition. And if you like army vehicles, well, Corgi Toys made a lot of cool army vehicles. And let's see, I'll flip forward to some Formula 1 cars. Corgi Toys, well, they made lots of nice stuff, such a variety of different vehicles. Over on this page, you see the Queen's Coach, or the State Landau. But of course, you got your typical London buses. And I've got more Formula 1 over here. Well, here's a page where 1/18 scale. Oh, does anybody have those? Oh, they would be so nice to have now in 1/18 scale. You know, these were from the 60s, maybe early 70s. But Corgi made such a variety of cars. And, you know, I mean, Corgi Juniors. There's some large scale buses, trucks, smaller cars. They just made so many things. Batman, Spider-Man. Of course, there's a lot of... Here's the planes, helicopters, tanks. So Corgi has a rich history of just making so many cool die-cast. So anyways, this is the book from '97. I'm sure there's newer editions of the car, Corgi toy car catalog. So anyways, I found some older Corgi toys from the same collector that had this. He had this since childhood, but obviously this was a little more play-worn. And so just like real cars, this is what they call a survivor car. It's all intact. Got this trailer hitch on the back, and nothing's damaged or broken on it. But it's just not in very good shape. But overall, it's a great example of an American car from an English manufacturer. Now this particular one, it had a feature in the front windshield. You see that kind of clear plastic piece. You hold up the light. Now the tail lights were red. Obviously that's faded over time, so you see the tail lights light up. If you turn around in front, well, it looks like the headlights light up, because in the back it would go through, and that was a neat feature that Corgi came up with. And then I've got another one. These are all in the book, but this is Corgi Toys Gia with Chrysler V8 engine, made in Great Britain. Now, as you can see, the bumper's damaged, it's broken off. And it's play worn, but overall, everything still works on it. Oh, I'm trying to open. I'm not sure which way the cover opens, if it's open from the front or the back. Give it a good shot. Anyways, the hood opens, but trust me. Now, I didn't pay very much for any of these. I traded older Redline Hot Wheels that weren't in very good shape, but back in the late 90s, early 2000s, a Hot Wheels Redline in rough shape was still worth something to somebody, so I managed to trade for cars like this. And then this one, again, was found at a local thrift store, a chain actually called Value Village. So it didn't cost me much, but I was very happy to have this example. So it's nice. You can have the cars on the trailer. Now this one has kind of a hydraulic kind of suspension where, of course, now it's not going to work when I want it to. Oh, there you go. So you can just press it down and you see it works. So you drive your car up on top, boom, 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 boom. There you go. Lifts up again. Then other Corgis I found was this Corgi Toys, made in Great Britain, Marcos Volvo. Now, this was another thrift store find, and well, this is right-hand drive, so this is the passenger door, and if I can figure out how to kind of get it slid back in and hooked up again, that'd be cool, but that's okay. It was dirt cheap when I found it. The actual driver's door still opens. Oops, sorry. Try to focus a little better. But you get it. And then the hood opens. So it's in rough shape. It's not in mint shape, obviously. But it's still in pretty nice shape. It's still a good example. You can see they actually had metal wheels, spokes. That's suspension, so that goes up into let's get, okay, there we go. And then this was the Marcos Volvo sports car. Well, there was a Corgi Toys Mini Marcos GT 850. Hood opens, doors open. And this, again, I traded for the same guy who had this Corgi, that Corgi. And overall, this looked in pretty nice shape, you know. It's got some chips and, you know, whatnot on the paint. But how cool is this? It's an old Corgi, made in Great Britain. But this is from the Corgi Jack-Ups. where you pull that lever and now it holds the front wheel up. Well, now I'm doing this one-handed, but the wheels come off. And so they had a series of cars like this where you jack them up, took the wheels off like you're fixing a flat. I mean, that's pretty cool. And so they had a variety of different cars, European cars and some American cars in that same style. So Corgi was very cool. They came out in '56, I believe, and they were kind of like the Hot Wheels of their day because they looked around and saw what was being available. Matchbox Dinky Toys. Well, Matchbox and Dinky Toys, they didn't actually have windows or interiors in them. So Corgi thought, let's put some windows in our cars. And then, of course, Dinky and Matchbox thought, oh, let's do the same. Then they thought, well, let's put interiors in our cars. And so they were the leading edge of the die-cast manufacturer at the time. And then they began doing other things like opening doors. And so everybody was trying to catch up to Corgis. And this is why I love Corgis so much. And then, there's my police car from the last video. Anyway, so as you can see from the book here, I do have that car. And I've got the James Bond car, but I'm not sure where I put it. And then on the back, they show you more cars. There's a Camaro, Monkey Mobile. They made James Bond and the Batmobile. And of course, here's a Corgi BMW M1. Well, it's the same car. Now, mine has the decal on the roof and the spoiler, and this one doesn't, but it has a decal on the hood. But as you can see, it is the same car. It's got an opening feature. You can see the engine in there. This one is made in Great Britain, so is that car. And then you see this Volkswagen here. Now this is another version, but I have a Volkswagen that I found. It's the same car. This was a rally version, and so you see a spare tire on the roof. And there, this is a police car, so it's got the light. And then you see this serrated, or fluted, whatever you want to call it. Well, actually what it is you turn it and the wheels steer. So you see the wheels are turned there. Now, I found this again at a thrift store, and it was missing the trunk lid, or the engine cover. But that doesn't matter. It's a rally version, so parts fly off and it continues on. But overall, the car's still in really nice shape. It's got nice patina on it, let's call it. Headlights, they use jewel styled headlights. The bumpers are part of the chassis. And there you go. 1200 saloon. Made in Great Britain. The mud flaps, engine. So it was very nicely detailed. And the hood opens to show you underneath the bonnet. So these are just some nice survivor cars that I found that, even though it's missing a part, this is still a great little die cast to have. And I found another one that somebody obviously had painted silver, and then the silver worn off. Well, that's this vehicle here, obviously in a different series. It was a crane truck. And again, all the tires were on it, so I thought that's pretty cool. me try to focus here. Well, it's got spring suspension. Well, the whole suspension piece moves, the engine piece moves, and anyways, there's Corgi Majors, Scammel. So anyways, even though these are play worn, they're still cool to me and worthwhile having. Now I found these back in late 90s, early 2000. And these are just some of my favorite cars that I've collected over the years. So I want to suggest a channel, a YouTube channel, that there's a young family man living in the States, South Carolina, I believe. He likes to find old cars that have been forgotten about. And he likes to bring them back to life. His channel is called Budget Builds. Builds, ending with a Z, not an S. Budget Builds. He's currently doing a Porsche 911 Targa that he rescued from a junkyard for $500. The car would have been crushed, destroyed, lost forever, but he bought it for $500. He's restoring it on a budget, doing everything that he can for himself with his father, and I highly recommend you check out his channel, Budget Builds. So anyways, I hope you enjoy this video as much as I enjoy owning these vehicles. Anyways, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.